HARK, we are here. It is time for another, not necessarily episode of Star Wars Unlimited, but more coverage for Star Wars Unlimited. You can see a bunch of things in the way. This is my top-down cam. This is my microphone, as you see pretty much always. I've just got back, as of recording, from the Star Wars Unlimited Community Celebration and Celestial Celebration, which was very interesting. I posted a picture on Twitter. If you haven't seen that, go check it out, twitter.com/RybackStun. I had a whole bunch of stuff here that we got from the company, which was really nice. The creators that went in there got this bag that had a whole bunch of stuff in it, including a copy of the starter deck and a copy of each of the types of sleeves that Gamegenic is putting out, plus tokens and a whole bunch of other stuff. So we are today going to take a look at the starter. This is the mat that I got. It binds all things. It's got an event exclusive over in the corner. But we're going to take a look here at the starter, two-player starter for Star Wars Unlimited. And this is gonna be really fun. I have these sleeves here because that eventually the decks will be sleeved in that, but we're gonna go ahead and start by opening up. You can see on the back, you have all the information about the game, specifically the things that it comes with, the deck lists, which are super handy, and that is fantastic. So apologies for the noise. I'm gonna pop this buddy open here carefully as we can. We're gonna pull everything we've got in here out. So first, we're gonna start with this lovely counter set. This comes with enough damage to be able to cover most of what you're going to need to worry about. You got a bunch of 1s, a couple of 5s, a 10s, and an epic action use. So when you use your epic action, you put that on there and you can't use it anymore. We have the quick start rules here from Fantasy Flight Games. Most people have seen this. Keyword glossary on the back. It's pretty good. All the lovely people who participated in making this lovely game. I actually got to meet quite a few of these people, which is very nice. All the different things you need here. These are playmats, which I'm not really going to go over for the game, but we do have specifically a mat here that shows you base, leader, ground units, space units, resources, deck, discard, and a bunch of other things. Initiative counter goes here. Setup, round structure, reference. This is actually perfect, especially for a two-player starter. And you get a nice Vader poster. And you get 2 of those. You get 1 for Luke, you get 1 for Vader. Makes sense. Two-player starter, right? We'll set those aside. Next thing we have in here is yet another thing of tokens, but this one comes with an initiative token, which is very important. Next thing we have in here are 2 lovely starter boxes. These will fit the decks themselves directly in them. I believe they also fit them sleeved. We'll definitely find that out here towards the end of the video. Vader, Luke, so on and so forth. And then we have the showcase, what everybody wants to see. We've got the decks. Now, we've gone over the deck lists before. Luke, Vader, everybody pretty much knows exactly what these are. These come in these nice paper containers that are easy to just pop open, the horrible noise, but we can go over pretty quickly what these have in them. Luke deck, it's pretty obvious. It comes with the Luke Skywalker leader here. We have the Administrator's Tower here. I apologize for the glare. We've got some experience tokens, which on the back are also shield tokens. Those are super handy. On the back of the Administrator's Tower, it is the full deck list for the build that you're running with this, which is also fantastic. We've got ourselves the 2-1B Surgical Droid. We've got 3 copies of the starter/special exclusive R2-D2. Super handy. We've got 3 copies of the Alliance X-Wing, very good card. We have 3 copies of the C-3PO, which is the starter exclusive as well. We have 1 Rebel Pathfinder. We have 2 Restored Arcs. We have 3 Leia Organa Defiant Princess. Rogue Operative, this is a really good card. I used this in a sealed event and a draft event at the celebration. We have 3 Fleet Lieutenants, fantastic card. Didn't pull any of these in any of the packs that I've opened so far. Hopefully I'm going to be able to open more. We got 1 Wing Leader. We've got 1 Yoda. We have 1 Cloud City Wing Guard, a System Patrol Craft. We've got 3 Consular Security Forces. Got 1 Liberator Gunship. I cannot pronounce that properly. We've got 1 General Dodonna. We've got a Snow Speeder. We've got a Chewbacca. Vigilant Honor Guards. Obi-Wan Kenobi, fantastic card. Han Solo, also a fantastic card. We have Resilient. We have 3 copies of Luke's lightsaber, which you'll never actually have to run. 3 copies of. We have 2 copies of Repair. 1 copy of Shoot First. 2 copies of Asteroid Sanctuary, 2 copies of Surprise Strike, 2 copies of Waylay, 3 copies of Vanquish. And that is the Luke Cunning deck, which is fantastic. We've gone over this before, but we're going to do it again. Vader, easy enough to use. We have Command Center, And then the Vader deck list on the back. Again, 3 tokens, shield and experience. We have 2 copies of the TIE Line Fighter. We have 3 copies of the Death Star Stormtrooper. We have 1 copy of Ozzel, 2 copies of First Legion Snowtrooper, 3 copies of Admiral Mahdi starter exclusive. We have 2 copies of Snowtrooper Lieutenants. We have 2 copies of Viper Pit Droid. We have 1 copy of Admiral Piet, 3 copies of Super Laser Technician. Fantastic card to just start the game out with. 3 copies of Cell Block Guard. Again, same thing, super handy to have. 1 General Veers, 3 Grand Moff Tarkins, starter exclusive, 3 Imperial Interceptors, another really good card. Like the Vader starter deck, honestly, I think is one of the best pieces of Star Wars Unlimited content you can partake in, because there's not a lot you need to change to make it viable. We've got 1 TIE Advanced, we've got 2 AT-STs, 1 Gladiator Star Destroyer, 1 Blizzard Assault AT-AT, 1 copy of I Am Your Father. I don't know why those are in a different spot. We actually do have 3 total copies here of I Am Your Father. 1 Emperor Palpatine, 1 Relentless, 3 Vader's Lightsaber Starter exclusive, 1 Open Fire, 1 Recruit, 1 Force Choke, 1 Resupply, 2 more Open Fire. My deck must have gotten emptied out here or miscombobulated. 1 Maximum Firepower, and 1 Overwhelming Barrage, one of the best cards in the entire game. And again, going on the back here, it is 3 Open Fire, 1 Maximum Firepower, 1 Overwhelming Barrage. So that is fantastic, and then these guys fit right in there. But let's go ahead and take a quick look here at these lovely sleeves that we have here. I did get to play with these over the celebration event. It was super fantastic. You get 60 copies of the art on the sleeve and then 1 clear sleeve for your leader. But these are just I'm gonna actually not sleeve those. These are some of the best sleeves in the entire game. The art is smooth, it feels good, it doesn't slip and slide, it shuffles nicely. Josh Massey specifically asked me after the draft that we had done how it feels to play with these sleeves, and they play like a dream. It's fantastic. If I wanted to troll somebody, I'd actually put the Vader deck in the Luke sleeves, but this is going to go into a one of those the double deck pods, whether it's the villainy or the heroism one, whichever one I get, because I want to have access to the starter deck. So if somebody comes around and wants to learn how to play Star Wars Unlimited, I have the decks ready to go, ready to play, that somebody can just pick it up and I go, here you go, this is how the game works. We can play a couple of rounds with some very easy to play decks. They're not really a huge barrier to entry in terms of what you're going to be playing. It plays like a lot of other games, obviously, but the fact that it still has that Star Wars flavor and it has uniqueness to the game specifically, plus the alternating actions, is an excellent way to be able to learn how to play Star Wars Unlimited. I'm trying to move through these as quickly as I possibly can. I actually had 3 of these on order. 1 so I could have the decks on hand for new people, and then 2 so that I could have a double play set of each of the starter cards. By being given a set of these, then I obviously don't necessarily need an additional set on top of that. So I did manage to reduce my order. There's a couple of changes that I would make to the Vader deck. I wouldn't run 3 copies of Vader's Saber. I would remove a couple of the smaller things that aren't really worth running. Add more copies of things like Force Choke. Add more copies of things like Overwhelming Barrage. Might actually add more resupply, because Vader does really good in having a deck that fits with his ability to get out and do a bunch of damage, remove maximum firepower, things like that. So maximum firepower, really good in limited, not so good in constructed. So we have all of this, and now the moment of truth. Corey told us this was supposed to work like this, and with a little finagling, we do manage to get the whole deck in there, sleeved and ready to go. So if you pick up a 2-player starter and a package of each of the art sleeves, which are really good, you'll be able to fit your entire existence of your starter deck in these. But if you're insane like me and you want better stuff, more stuff, you have access to that as well. We're not going to do that with the Luke deck. We'll do that off stream or off video, but that is effectively how this is. I don't know when this video specifically is going to be coming out, but I'll try to edit this pretty quickly and get it out so that way you guys can experience what the starter deck is. I have videos for my opening my sealed packs playing one of the sealed games. I wanted to get all 3 of them, but we were having issues with the location of the actual cards of the camera itself. My camera angle isn't all that great. I'm not experienced with doing things like having live gameplay, but going to this event really got me into the position of trying to actually just make sure that I can do it in the future, because I'd love to record some local games at my local game store. And obviously, if I ever go to an event, I want to be able to do that. I didn't really get too much information from other developers on camera. There was a lot of people trying to run around, get some things done, and I wanted to let people like Josh really be able to get in there and play games and not restrict them too much to interviews. But there's going to be a lot of content coming out from a lot of different people, so make sure you check that out. I'm going to try to see if I can put this video up on Monday. So if you're watching it on Monday, I was successful. If not, I failed. But I do have a lot of videos coming out. I've got 2 games with one of the developers. His name is John Leo. Excellent person. He was part of that draft stream that they did, which was very fun. Very excellent, well-spoken guy. Really fun to draft with. He fed me a couple of things during the draft, which was really nice. And then I kind of helped him and Josh out with some stuff in the back end. It's a very fun event overall. You'll see coverage from myself and a lot of other people over the next couple of weeks. I don't want to oversaturate with what I did specifically on stream, but there's a lot to cover. There's a ton of cards that were previewed that I have to go over for Wednesday's video, which is probably the only thing I'm going to do for Wednesday's video. And then I've got gameplay videos, and I've got conversational videos and things to go over about the new Twin Suns format, which is really cool and fixes a lot of the problems with other multiplayer formats and other games. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did showcasing it to you. Remember to like and comment on this video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think of the starter deck and the way that these sleeves look. I'm telling you right now, these sleeves feel absolutely amazing. They are a fantastic group of cards here. I said I was gonna do this off stream, but I'm almost done with it. So I'm just gonna keep going. Let me know whose content you liked the most from the celebration. I did get to talk with a lot of the developers. There was a lot of different things, which I'll go over at a later video. A lot of validation for a lot of people, especially me, in that environment. So I have now finished sleeving this deck that I said I was going to sleeve later, which is fantastic. So with that, I will see you in the stars.